Bless up, ABR family and viewers. Welcome back to the channel. It's your girl, Isabel Rose. Welcome, one and all. This is a very interesting and important live. A whole heap right here, so to unpack. We see in the government showing us that they want to divide and rule Jamaica. They have basically waged a divide between the Jamaicans for Justice and our Jamaica Constabulary Force. And that shouldn't be any at all. There shouldn't be any divide, there shouldn't be any problems between our human rights group and our police. I stand with the human rights group and I stand with the law-abiding, servant-protecting men and women of the police force. And we are about to take it back to even when a retired superintendent of police was in our prime. We call him Renito Adams. And we're taking it back to show you that this government or the Jamaica Labour Party hit out against increased police killings just the same. So not because the Jamaicans for Justice is saying that, not because the well-thinking Jamaicans are saying that there's an increase of 163% police killing. That doesn't mean that we're against the police. That doesn't mean that we want to fight against the lawmen and women in our country. But it is very alarming. We speaking out, the JFJ speaking out, does not mean that we're against all policemen and women. We know that it's a tedious task. We know that it's a tedious job. But at the end of the day, all lives matter. That is what we're pushing. And we know that today is the Jamaicans for Justice Human Rights March against the increase of 163% police killing. You know that from the year start until now, 106 persons have been killed by police. It is not fair to say that all of them are extrajudicial killings. We're not here saying that. But compared to last year and compared to other times, 163% increase would raise anybody's eyebrow. And innocent among criminals are being killed. It is safe to say that. Big up yourself, Born Again. Big up to Angela, member of the Isabel Rose membership. Big up yourself, Jermaine Davis, all the way from in China. Big up to all moderators. Big up to everybody who will come across this live. As you come on the live, please to like and share out the live. But before I dive any further into this, I just want you all to hear from Major Daps. And this is a promotion aspect of the live. And for anybody who wants to support this album, you can feel free to do so. It's available on all digital platforms where music are sold. Amazon, iTunes, you name it. So I just want to say a big shout out to Major Daps and allowing me to promote at a reasonable cost this album for you. And I must say that the music on here resonates very well with what is currently going on.
He came unto his own, and his own receive him not. Jah, Rastafari.
Major Debs presents to you Heart of the World. This prolific album is both inspiring and uplifting. It captures the pain and joy of the people while advocating for rights and justice with tracks like Your Pain, No Mining, Warning, and title track Heart of the World. Play Jam Music by purchasing or streaming the Heart of the World album on iTunes, Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube, and all digital platforms. Heart of the World by Major Debs, produced by Jam Music Enterprise and Stereotype Studio.
Verily, verily, I said unto you, that is imperial majesty, Emperor Haile Selassie I, Christ, the conquering lion of Judah has prevailed. Jamaica is the heart of the world. We be live. Reggae is the soul of the world. We teach life. Jamaica is the blood of the world. Produce the greatest life. Reggae is the warrior of the world. Liberating life. Jamaica, beautiful and influential, loaded with good things and minerals so essential. Our children are loaded with potentials. Jamaica have her credentials. Politicians are criminals. The evidence is substantial. And them I and I is the decimal. Jamaica is the heart of the world. We be live.
Jamaica is the heart of the world. That's the message right there. And so let's get back to the matter at hand. We've seen this government trying to divide, as I stated, our nation, trying to wage a war between the human rights group Jamaicans for Justice and the Jamaica Constabulary Force. I done a video prior to this where we seen a chairman or the chairperson of the Police Federation hitting out against JFJ, calling them a terrorist, and that shouldn't be any at all. You know why that shouldn't be? Because as I stated in that previous live, the Jamaicans for Justice was formed in the 1999. Remember when there was this gas tax under the PNP, they came out and they protested. Labourites were a part of this group at that time. Even the owner of Fontana was a member of the Jamaicans for Justice. And until the government had changed, them take with themselves from the justice group. So I guess them did just do it in order to get this government in so that they could have, switched on the people. This very same JFJ is a group that provides training to the JCF on human rights every single year. So we don't need the government to wage a war to divide the people and to divide Jamaicans for Justice and to divide the JCF. I am going to play the footage of what the president of the JFJ, Michael Jackson, stated. And after we seen the current Commissioner of Police coming out with a very harsh and strong message to JFJ. I'm going to play JFJ recording first, and you let me know in the live chat if you want to hear the recording from the Commissioner of Police.
The surge in security force fatal shootings has reached an alarming and quite frankly intolerable number. The year-to-date total of police fatal shootings more than doubles the figure for the same period in 2024. This sharp increase is deeply concerning and unacceptable in a democracy. It is certainly unacceptable when one considers Jamaica's population size. If this trend persists, Jamaica risks regressing to the dark days before the establishment of Indicom, when accountability for such incidents was virtually non-existent. If this trend persists, Jamaica risks eroding the gains that we have made since the establishment of Indicom, and certainly the gains that we have made in human rights for the past decade. If this trend persists, we see the possibility of us recording significantly high number of police fatal shootings, the highest that we have seen in over a decade, because since the start of 2025, almost every single day we have seen at least one citizen killed by a member of the security force. Again, if this trend persists, it suggests that we are at risk of having over 250 citizens killed by the security force at the end of 2025. We cannot allow this rollback of progress to continue unchecked. No, JFJ makes no pronouncements that these matters are all extrajudicial killings, because we deal and look at these situations on a case-by-case basis. However, there are concerns to be had. When we look at the Indicom press releases and the Indicom's incident reports as they report them, we see a standard line. No body-worn cameras were recorded as being issued or worn by the officers assigned to these various operations. We have heard from the JCF leadership that data storage infrastructure is needed to be strengthened to have increased body-worn cameras be procured and deployed. However, we must demand a timeline from the JCF's leadership. We have also been told by the JCF's leadership that 750 body-worn cameras are already deployed and are being utilized. The reasonable question that one should put forward: where are the body-worn cameras in these incidents that have resulted in fatalities? We cannot allow this rollback of progress to continue unchecked. Urgent action is needed to address this crisis and uphold justice and transparency. We must uphold the rule of law, notwithstanding the high crime rate. In fact, it is in times such as these that the rule of law is what must govern our country at all times.
Big up yourself, Wayne Evans, Diamond, Miss Winnie Mead, Mark Tate, Cooking with Elaine, Veronica, Daniel Taylor, Sharon Bernard, and Special Agent. So, having heard this statement from JFJ's president back in February, I believe, what is so wrong in wanting accountability? What is so wrong in asking our lawmen and women who are out there to serve and protect to wear this body-worn camera so that we can have the accountability that we so desire? 163% increase in police killings is alarming, and it would raise anyone's eyebrow. If this trend persists, as she stated, we will see over 200 and odd police killing, highest within a decade. And so, after this, as I stated, there was a recording directed to the JFJ from the Commissioner of Police. Now that we learned that the JFJ would have done their march today, they're going to be out on the street. Peaceful protests, as they have always been doing. Demanding and asking for accountability and standing up for human rights at all costs. And so there's gonna be, according to the commissioner and the government, police deployed to ensure order at this protest of police killing. Now we're seeing a government senator, and I'm not going to play his recording. For some reason, his voice kind of irritate me, and when them spew out their mouths, them not spew nothing will make sense. So we're seeing them basically coming out urging the public to wear blue in support of the police. So we're seeing that this government is fighting against human rights. This government is fighting against a protest where we're protesting against increased police killings. It's not a protest directly against police to say that, oh, we don't want the police them or we're not supportive of the police them. But this rise in police killing is very alarming, and we cannot blame the human rights group for coming out to demanding, to asking, why is there such a sharp, such a high increase? But we're seeing a government senator, a newly minted senator, sending out a message urging the public to wear blue in support of police. Can you imagine? The JFJ has responded, and they said that Morgan's call to wear blue in support of police threatens to divide society. So they want to divide our people at all costs. They want to divide and rule. And as the songwriter said, divide and rule. That is the aim of this government, to divide and to rule the people. That is what they want. I'm going to take it back a little so y'all can see where I'm coming from. Y'all remember this gentleman here on my screen? He's a retired senior superintendent of police who goes by the name of Renito Adams. You know, remember when Renito did Inner in Prime, ABR family and viewers? And you know that this man, some of his own colleagues applaud him and some of them were against him. Likewise, the citizens of the country. When him go out for operation, when he's working, leading his squad, leading his team, and they're trying to stamp out the high levels of crime and violence. Some of the killings, we see outrage for it. Some of it, them say, yeah, criminal them. And we seen where a government MP at the time basically spoke out against Renito Adams. So they might behave as if them never come out yet against the police. This government or the Jamaica Labour Party is behaving and operating as if them never ever yet come out against the police, and all of a sudden, yeah, we're in support of the police, and yeah. To the point where, as I stated, an MP came out against Adams in particular. And this was back in 2009. And Adams fired back at him. And so may I read some of this article so you can understand where I'm coming from with this. A war of words has developed between former National Security Minister Derek Smith and former Senior Superintendent Renito Adams over the vacant police commissioner post. Smith fired the first salvo on Sunday when he told cheering Jamaica Labour Party supporters that the former head of the controversial crime management unit would offer nothing to the police force. The retort from Adams was equally biting as he fired back at Smith, who, while serving as opposition spokesman on crime, was a regular critic of the crime management unit. A regular critic. In opening the verbal battle, Smith declared it would be foolhardy dealing with the facts and not emotion to think that Mr. Adams can do anything about the reduction of crime and violence in the country. While making it clear that he was speaking in a private capacity and not on behalf of the Bruce Golding administration, Smith charged that there was a spike in murders and other major crimes during the time Adams led the crime unit, which was the police elite force. Controversial killings. Smith also pointed to a number of controversial killings of persons, including known JLP supporters. He quoted, "Labourites in here will remember the death of Punky on Jake's Road." And he went on to list some more. They will remember the death of Jackie in Spanish Town. They will remember the death of Pang from Grandspen in Pembroke Hall. They will remember the death of the 7 in Brayton. They will remember the deaths of the people in Crawle, including 2 women under the bed, and they will remember the 27 in West Kingston. He noted that the decision to appoint a new police commissioner would be made by the Police Services Commission and urged JLP supporters not to be caught up by the hype of the likable and charismatic Renita Adams. Former senior superintendent had no good words for Smith, who served as a national security minister for some 8 months before he was replaced by Colonel Trevor Macmillan. Adams said, "I think when they appointed Mr. Smith security minister, it had the most horrible decision that has ever taken place." And I read that just to give you a clear understanding that the Jamaica Labour Party too has hit out against increased police killings. But now that the table has turned and the people as well as the human rights group, I am sure back then too, the human rights group were out there protesting. But they want to create some form of divide, as I stated, with these utterances urging the public to go out and to wear blue. This is not a fight against the JCF, and it shouldn't be a fight against the Jamaicans for justice. We want the criminals to be eradicated. We want crime and violence to go down. We want, as much as possible, to live and can leave our windows and doors open. Words that were promised to the Jamaican people by this government. But when we see the rise in police killing, it begs to question, is this the solution to have us to sleep with our doors and our windows open? That is the question right there. We stand with the law-abiding police officers who are out there serving and protecting, not the ones who are ill-treating our citizens and behaving as if they want to abuse them power at all costs. So when there is a rise in police killings, we have to wonder what is going on. All of a sudden, 163% increase. And we, the citizens, should not question it. The human rights group who trains the police every single year on human rights. This government wants to divide. Trying to pin the people them to wage a war between the justice group and the Jamaica Constabulary Force. And that shouldn't be none at all. That shouldn't be. If you're going to deploy police out there to maintain order and peace, at what point when you ever hear of a Jamaicans for Justice peaceful protests breaking out into war and strife, that's they're going to deploy this one whole heap of police out there to maintain order? ABR family and viewers, this is very, very disturbing what this senator has asked the people to do. Basically sending out. And most the Jamaica Labour Party supporters is sending a message too. That is what I got from it. So they're politicizing. They're trying to politicize because we demand accountability from our lawmen and women. I'm going to let you hear the message from the police chairwoman of the Police Federation and tell me if what she said at the colleague's funeral, who wasn't gunned down by a criminal, the man met in an accident and passed away. And this is what the Police Federation chairperson had to say to JFJ. Give me a minute there, let me send over the file. She proceeded to call the Jamaicans for Justice a terrorist group.
I know their advocacy groups out there who want to support what the Jamaica Constabulary Force has achieved. In 25 years, we have never seen a reduction at the end of February. So low. 25 years. Yet, you're looking at a few things without doing your research. I must start off before I talk about Garfield, the legendary investigator. I am going to send a message to Jamaica for justice. Don't be a part of the problem, be a part of the solution. Get on board. I would love at your peaceful demonstration coming up April 29th. You have placards to speak about the budget reduction in major crimes. I would love for you to have the placard telling men and women who have paid the ultimate sacrifice, thank you. I would love for you to have a placard to speak to the family of police officers who have been gunned down by criminals. If you can't do that, I classify you as a true terrorist. Dr. Kevin May and the men and women and leadership of this force has transformed the system. How dare you walk to the Jamaica Constabulary Force instead of partnering with us? Come on, sit down with us. Show us your stats of community engagement where you're all here in community.
Why is she saying they should have come partner with them when every single year the JFJ gives them training in human rights? Does that make any sense?
I tell the criminals, we want you to help us save the citizens' land. You cannot be one-sided, and it's clear that there is no recognition for the stats from Indicom. You know why? Over 80% of all police shooting were justifiable. JFJ or whatever J you are, let it be a joyous moment and go ahead the facts and leave the members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force to carry out their function.
I've taken note of the Jamaican for Justice's condemnation of what they describe as intolerable number of fatal shootings by the security forces. I strongly support the view that the number of fatal shootings is too high. However, the call is wrongly directed and should be aiming at those who make the decision to challenge a far more superior force. And so let me encourage the Jamaican for Justice to be more responsible in their public pronouncements, especially when the nation is aware of its members' proven ability to comprehend the most basic and fundamental principles of security. To suggest that fatal shooting numbers can be reduced by anything other than the unwillingness of persons being apprehended to engage in deadly confrontation with members of the security forces is irresponsible or, at best, advocating for us to relent in our pursuit. We again reiterate the point that those who seek to kill and maim will not be left free and unobstructed to hold communities at ransom and in constant fear. It means we make no apology to stand between these murdering thugs and the people of this country. We also wish to reiterate the idiocy of these criminal elements in seeking to engage the security forces with deadly force and expect not to be responded to with similar force. Ladies and gentlemen, our prisons and police lockups are fully populated with persons who have made the smarter choice of surrendering peacefully to the police. We have had well over 1,000 firearm-related arrests each year. Persons have had their day in court and have, in some instances, been freed of the charges against them. They have all lived to see another day, simply because they choose not to direct deadly force against our members. We have had police officers and soldiers killed and seriously injured in some of these confrontations. It is mandated by policy that every incident of fatal shooting must be followed by a removal from frontline duty and an administrative review. This takes police that would normally be out to protect you, the citizens, off the street. And so, yes, we agree, we need to have less fatal shootings. And so I call upon JFJ to demonstrate to the public that your care is more for the well-being of our citizens and less for the relevance of your organization. And it is hard for me to think otherwise when I know JFJ is fully abreast of the facts. Finally, as I wrap up, this constant call for there to be more accountability over the JCF is in itself a slap in the face of Indicom. Be reminded that that is their single most important mandate. And let me be absolutely clear, lest I am misunderstood or misquoted. I am a full supporter of what Indicom stands for. An effective Indicom assures me that those among us who believe that they are free to break the law will be held to account and be removed from within our ranks. The JCF's effectiveness depends on this. However, I am concerned that the JFJ supports the idea that Indicom's investigation is being hampered because we do not have body-worn camera footage to present to them, even while they have more than 60% of what is required to complete an investigation. And this includes statements from our members who are involved, ballistic information, report on the circumstances surrounding the case, and primacy over the scene. We in the JCF do not have the luxury of taking that position. So let me take this opportunity to reiterate the point that we have been making for some time. We will continue to use our superior intelligence gathering capabilities. We will continue to utilize our superior investigative capacity. We will use our superior operational capabilities and we will go out and confront those who seek to destabilize our communities by wielding the threat of violence and terror. It continues to be our intention to bring those marauding criminals to justice so that they can have their day in court. Our track record of bringing violent criminals before a judge is beyond question. However, let me say again, when the police come for you, do not raise your weapons against us. Lay down your weapons and have your day in court. But should you choose the foolish option of challenging us with lethal force, know this: I do not train my police to lose. We have the superior training and firepower to ensure that we win every time. Let me encourage every Jamaican who truly believes in justice to work alongside the Jamaica Constabulary Force to continue our mission to bring down violent crime even further this year. And let's create a society where we can all feel safe.
Big up yourself, Andrea Burke, Maureen Vassell, Florence Hamilton, Robert Brown, big up. Florence says, who gives out the guns? Very interesting question right there. Who gives out the guns? My God. We know enough time. The politicians, them take them and use them. We know enough time, dance in the area. But where do they get the guns? Very good question for some of these powers to answer. Very good question. Anybody wants to chime in on this aspect of the life before I move on? We stand with JFJ. Well, I can only speak for myself then. I stand with JFJ and I stand with the law-abiding police men and women. It shouldn't be a divide in our nation over human rights group protesting high levels. Him hears up on the screen say a while ago, say it's alarming. He agrees with them that the rise in police killing 163% would raise any eyebrow. This commissioner of police who heads the JCF, they are all trained every single year from the JFJ on human rights. So demanding accountability, asking what's going on is a problem. Why invest? Why did this government invest in body-worn camera if them know them never have the data center to get the information? If them know them never have the relevant personnel to read and to analyze what's on the body cam footage? Why then invest in body cam footage or in body camera? Why, if we don't have the necessary other resources and equipment to collect the data from it? That make no sense then. But then again, we have the Indicom group. And last year they came out and they said police killings on the rise. This year it turned up more than even last year. But I'd love to hear from y'all before I move on from this aspect of the live. What says you, ABR family and viewers? The number to call is 954-288-6467, WhatsApp only. What says you about the pushback on the JFJ's protest today against high levels of police killing? Not against the police, high levels of police killing. I want to hear from some of y'all. Big up yourself, Outer Mini. Big up to Joy Barnes. Big up Dorette. Big up Marsha. Big up yourself, Rumba Time News. Robert Brown, big up yourself. He says the Prime Minister's speeches can either encourage or escalate the abuse and brutality of the criminals in the police force, especially against children in uniform. I seen a video, and I'm glad I read this comment. I seen a video of how the law enforcers dealt with a little schoolboy in uniform. And despite we know that some of these children are very out of order, very unruly, but at the end of the day, the police must know how to de-escalate situation and know how to deal with situation. The video that I watch and some other videos where me hear police piece are squeeze off, I never hear in that video or any of those videos where criminals were challenging the police. Blessed morning, my family. You're live on the ABR show. What says you on this pushback from the government? Senator saying that the people must come out and wear blue in support of police against the JFJ's protest. What says you?
Morning.
Morning.
All right. This show, it's like history is being replayed. History.
Mm-hmm.
Why most people went for Andrew Holness is because they believe in him. That are the first time.
Mm-hmm.
What really happened is that the JLP party did have a reputation. And when Bruce Golding, who don't know the history,
Mm-hmm.
what really happened, you see the whole destruction of the education system, that are the main gas or oil in what is going on now in this country.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? Because people who don't know and who illiterate, it's like you can't put any narrative like amongst them, and they like them start believe and them carry it on and gas it up, and we are use sentiments and gimmicks and them thing there instead of the facts.
Yeah.
The situation. So what I'm saying is the JLP party over the years have been a party where abuse human rights.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is a fact. History has shown that you can't rewrite history. What happened already.
Yeah.
But in a present, we can change things. So when Bruce Golding came to the JLP party, I mean, Bruce Golding did remember there was a fraction with the Gang of Five and thing, and Siaga used to even say this one done and music start make off it where I say is my way or the highway.
Yes.
Yeah, and when Carl Samuda in a pretty shirt up on TV and he show you in liquid thing underneath in shirt and say, me not afraid I know the spot. You understand? So them not thought, well, me live and see my experience. Yeah, we know about the fire, we know about the destruction of jungle and Rima and the whole of them thing there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the whole tribalistic thing. Imagine when the people them burn up all in the house, when all a prime minister or sympathize for the JLP one and him not say nothing about the PNP one them, and then the argument is that no PNP can't bury side and no JLP and shots start fire in the cemetery and the people them have to run out of the cemetery and things. So people uniform did have to change in the corporate era to tribalistic political tribalism. You understand? And then you see, we start describing one another again. We start divide the people them again. So we start divide the people them. Oh, shame on you, my God. Shame on you. We see what you do, you know. And that's why education, that's why civics came out of school in the 80s. Just like it came out of whole heap of third world country. The thing them strategic, you know. The thing them where happen strategic. People don't know what is social engineering. When you start designing a society strategically. Yeah. So I don't even touch back the education part. But the main thing what I say, the senator with the government. Notice, you know, all the time in Jamaica, you know, we see police abuse people, you know, man and woman, you know.
Yeah.
Women start dead now, you know.
Yeah.
And pitney. And them say people in a police uniform and police say, I know them. So we are look upon where at me, you know. Remember him, even Chucky Brown, you know, is an example of how the society stay, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, because even people like you know, no need to play about the Chucky Brown story, you know, make we see the culture what we have developed, you know. Yeah, so what I'm saying is the divide and rule thing and the tribalistic thing for make the people them start fighting one another and them something that it bad.
True.
When a government only hungry for power and we be using this reverse psychology. Yeah, say you cannot trust Mark Golding. And we know all where the trust argument come from. It's a reverse psychology.
Yes.
What about Marcus? What about Mark Golding? I mean, what about Mark Golding make you can't trust Mark Golding? Who are the premises them? Yeah, a man will never come in a power yet, or a man will never get the girl yet. We promise the girl anything, but the man will have the girl, or the man will have the power. He must say, baby, listen me, how me treat you, stay and you will get more at it. What we do for the last night, imagine you coming from a place where an ex-minister of education and you know building no school, and the people them with a university and he said teacher them, yeah, walk on uno, we see the society are destroy and uno have the education and all the while uno stay by and don't say anything. You make the society destroy. Yeah, walk on uno, because guess what? Education are the main factor will bring any country forward, because when you invest, I mean you can sacrifice everything in the budget. Yeah, and spend whole heap of money on education. In the next 5 and 10 years, the country start lift up.
Yeah.
Like in a Switzerland, Grand Cayman, most of the country them where you see. You understand? If you look on China now, education, them America
Definitely.
with the education, so the whole of all of the country them where have the most billionaire them are the country where invest in a human capital. That means the people them healthy, them know where they might eat. Most food where they in America, you know. It ban in 140 country the chemical them we are using a food. You know.
True.
You understand? So Jamaica is a dumping ground. The government are there for safeguard who are coming at this. And where the people them might eat. Yeah, Jamaica is set for destruction.
My God.
Yeah, because when you take off the tariff for import, for agricultural food, that means that you go compete with the farmer, and the farmer them are go give up. And then when you're ready now, you go experiment. That's what Bill Gates say with the food and the people them. So you use vaccine and food. So when any food will come in and can test the people them, just like this container, don't think it's a waterproof container, and people have this storable container wash up on beach and them something there everybody believe, and them a test them been testing the intellect of the people. Yeah, because them have a lot of things coming from the people.
Yes.
A lot of civil war equipment and gears been purchased by the government for a long time, because them plan to push the people to the brink, and when the people rise up, them shall deal with it, because it has been planned. That's why you don't take 6 months for a soldier train again at 3 months, because you want a whole heap of security force. And all the way up me, I test them, nobody never used to beat up a picnic in a uniform, no police, that never happened in the country yet. And what, the government keeps silent. Yeah? And silent mean what?
Consent, all right.
Yeah, so if the government not say nothing about that, and Mal and Morgan never they say nothing about when the police are thinking, I say, listen me, we not go too far. Remember, I said the police are the set of people who get training and think, what this are do to good police? Imagine our family
make them look
where
bad.
Police. And them are going to some era. Yeah, and imagine some man where I get him beat up then weird the way you ask like a boy for searching your search and something you beat him up then weird and mash him down and them something you beat up like a girl, have the girl head pan concrete. Imagine if I hear want to see on a picnic. Want to have some good police to where have all them like a picnic we're gone out and left them picnic. And remember say some police have picnic too, you know.
Yes, man.
How safe are your child when you do them thing that too. Look how the people them know. A lot of people even love some police because some police talk to you so courteous and good. And we are said the people more youth are going to hate police. So when the youth ain't hate police, and you mash him down for that. Just like with the Mario Dean, when the woman did write up the thing, cause we watch it on the news and they said the woman write up the thing and Mario Dean go say him like police. And that's where Mario Dean get. Yeah, and at the same thing now, the little youth say him don't like police. You don't know the youth story. If you then talk to him little more and he then tell you, say, him so want police, he do this and that, and the whole of them little youth now hate police. And there's nothing where you can tell them. You understand? And some youth I go cringe through the intimidation and traumatized, and some youth I go bounce back and be defensive. Yeah? And you know, can't do them nothing. And some of them are done criminal, and some of them are done some psychologically destruction being through them thing that what we've been doing. And we create the society.
Trauma, yeah.
Yeah, and the society where we are create just for the government stay in a power, it's not good. Yeah, everybody can see it. If you run the thing, you say no third term and you kill yourself for third term. And that you say no third term. Why you killing yourself for third term now? You said you don't deal with the 100-day promise, the first set of promise. You know, fulfill them and you come with more promise and you did this cut ribbon pan one like a standpipe. Cut ribbon and them something and balloon and them thing there. But I mean, we are destroyed with society, brother. We are destroyed with society. We are destroyed the future. You understand? The country is for the people and the electorate have the decision and have the power.
That is it, yeah?
Nobody no own Jamaica, no PNP, no JLP don't own this. Anyone where you deal with treat the people, you get a chance to treat the people them for 5 years and show them what it is all about, then them get to 5 years for them democratic right. You understand? Stop cow down and push down upon the people them and stop destroy education. Because everything is all about destroying education. That's what can increase support of the JLP party and them something there.
That's why I'm not build one school in the 9 years.
Yeah,
Hold on, Democala. Hold on there. Somebody move that smarty there when you in Killian, Henry. Because I want to know where this your gentleman here and say that is such a rubbish where you come here. So somebody move her. A moderator move that big idiot there.
Them can't go and talk because we live and see and know, and after 9 years, if you amongst people and you don't know what, you have no sense. You understand? After 9 years, the people them see what is what. The first set of people start balling in this country and no whole heap of JLP supporters start ball 2 years ago. And them was the first one will start crying because people know what is what and they accept what is what. You understand? And we not diet, nothing, we are dieted Jamaican. Yeah, because we vote, me personally vote for Andrew Holness. No man can tell me nothing. See, a policy we are dealing with and we are dealing with the country and we use them. You understand? School feeding program, the day of school. If you are going to take out the Nutribun and them something there already, you have to replace it first. But guess what we say? We come for destroy human capital. Yeah, we don't know if there is a plan for the Chinese them to take over this. You understand? Because there's going to be a clash between China and America over Jamaica.
True.
Yeah, and the people them look like them have no talk. The leaders them are make a decision.
We
just
see
like
it.
when government talk and quarrel and then people them have to go war.
Because you know what China say, anybody will take no stance against them with the US, them are going to feel it.
I think it go Jamaica go be like a Ukraine. Yeah, because we are going to get in the migrant. You understand? And now we go make a decision. Our leader go make a decision and we have to go fight. So yeah, we end up a fight for something you don't believe in. And the Chinese them coming to Jamaica, then can devastate any industry, not just in a mechanic, but then can devastate electronic, everything, push car to town. Last
because
Christmas,
them train feet. Yeah.
Last
them
Christmas,
can do everything.
Last Christmas, then short them goods pan chapalin and nobody not trouble them, the police not trouble them. When they take them vehicle and them block up the road, no vehicle, no reckon and take up them vehicle at town. You understand? So we go become second class citizen at this.
My God.
You see the Jamaican cat and you see China cat within Skellion. Nobody now go trouble with China cat within Skellion. You understand? Because enough China poor and can't buy nothing. can't afford to even eat at China. Yeah, you have enough Chinese where them is nothing. And when they come here, them are going to capture this.
True.
Them now left.
We see it.
I tell you.
We see it.
It devastating, man, and we have to use our voice, you know.
Definitely.
We must say a risk we are running in a new dictatorship. Them did say manly deal with communists and who deal with communists. Nobody not see.
All right.
Nobody not realize that them are lose their right. You understand? We are lose our right. The Constitution say we have the right to protest.
Yeah.
Yeah. When we are disrespect even my holding rights, you know, we're not supposed to prejudice against color, class, nor creed.
All right, then.
Race, you understand? And we have broke the constitution when we are doing that. See, I got the white, Manly them did white, Bob Marley did half white.
Yeah.
You understand? Everything, you understand? I just be done so one with base semantics. Yeah, you understand?
Yeah.
Base semantics and gimmicks and them little thing there. Yeah, we're bringing thing there in a parliament. We should a Caribbean country, you see, man, I bring in grocery in a parliament, and they were supposed to make proper presentation as government. Where them supposed to be diplomat. Them supposed to can use the Queen's English and write a proper presentation. What kind of every day with this rum bar talking at Jamaica in a parliament come like market. Every day one bag of gimmicks and rum bar argument.
No class, not in the Senate again, or with some of them.
No, but the senator, when you see Morgan going at the senator, you know, say, you're going 10 feet more down. You understand? Because he used to operate in a one way, and then when he carried that kind of operation to the Senate, then the Senate gone, the whole reputation for the senator now go have not name, no reputation, no class, no efficiency, and nothing, because that just be a foolishness or going, just be a low thing argument. You know, like when we're there at school and some people make be nice at the dunce, them say empty barrel make it most
nice.
Nice. So most of the sentiments them where you're hearing at the Senate, it have nothing to do with no level of intelligence.
Yeah.
You understand? Be foolishness and low talk and them something there. Yeah, you hear man go up and think, bad mind. Them grudge me for this, that. Where them think they go in a government? Now them think that to some little low class people whenever went to school or something. You get what I'm saying?
Sure.
We're supposed to have proper, and the government not supposed to incite anything for the police being encouraged to operate lawlessly. You understand? One speech by the Prime Minister can fix things. You make the police them know, so listen, me, you're a professional, and you're supposed to deal with the thing with the human rights and do the thing the right way according to the training.
That is
you understand? You're not supposed to come a road, come abuse it. As I'm saying, the thing, even when them do the whole thing as jury and judge and everything and take up the body and, you know, say the crime scene compromise, they don't make sense that in the come. And we not take nothing from Indicom, you know.
No.
But where we are say, what get we mad is when time we see police now start beat up youth in a school uniform. So Indicom, if Indicom did have teeth, then it would happen again and again and again.
Yeah.
So the people are trying to speak. And business people now, like the man who own the pharmacy, what are you saying? You shouldn't keep your personal thing to yourself. Me not buy no more this and nobody if I death for the medicine or whatsoever for me dead, me I got dead.
Mighty
me
God.
not buy nothing this and my kids and me I tell my family and me I promote it. You understand? Because we are the one just like government, when enough people never come in a government and never have nothing. And we sustain them through with tax and we sustain them through with money and whatsoever, and then you want to go against us. We not say nothing against the good police, bro.
Exactly.
We not say nothing. We are say even with the police, them do them criminal police, them make good police be at
Look
risk.
bad, yeah, and be at risk, yeah.
Them destroy other good police, them make them be at risk. When them go out to do them work, now them make criminal. Yeah, and focus on them and try hurt them and do them all kind of something. Yeah, make youth turn criminal and go against the good people. Them we are trying to put the society together.
And
never
that we
one
don't
day
want.
this thing. Years you have people are trying to put this society together and people just come break it down in a one day. Nobody now think that we don't want to go for protest and then police are come fight you and people in a blue and whatsoever. The protest should then just
What
pull
kind
out,
of
put
message
out.
you send, yeah.
And who go who go thing against criminal police just put on the blue and go say, yes, we support the beating of our youth. We support the shooting of people where without body cam. Body cam are rare all over the world. What make Jamaican
So why
police
Jamaican police can't? Yeah.
Yeah, what we have about ourselves make Jamaican police can't wear camera.
My God.
What we camera put in all over the world? What make the government? What make we who don't want to put in camera? The government put in camera all over the country. Camera fight crime. But as long as me say this, finish by saying this. As long as we are criminal, we cannot fight crime.
All right.
You understand? So anybody we are criminal will never
be able to fight
only
it.
Pretend. We can only pretend that we're fighting crime. Yeah, but we will never efficiently or effectively fight crime. Yeah, as long as we are criminals. So the first thing, you can't make a criminal start fight crime because him not go use a fine teeth comb. Or use a big comb or a big rake and him go break out some of the teeth.
All right.
Yeah, all right.
All right, big up yourself, my brother.
Respect for your work where you're doing, just the country we are defending.
Definitely.
Not JLP, not the PNP thing.
Definitely. We are all accountable.
Is to our country. Yeah.
Definitely.
Bless
respect, my brother. Well said from that gentleman right there. I would love to have him on the program more because he said everything right there so will make sense. I will take one more call on this matter before I move on. Anybody else wants to share their insight on this? As he stated, and I've been saying on the live, that we don't want it to be bad for our law-abiding policemen and women. We're not here to come out against the police force. We're not here to come out against JFJ. We don't want to send the wrong message as this government is sending the wrong message by using that senator to come out and to urge the people to come against the JFJ. We're not fighting against the police. We are fighting against the high levels of killings in the police force. We want to know what is going on. Blessed morning, you're live on the ABR show. What says you on this matter?
Good morning.
Go ahead.
First, there's a point of full disclosure. I'm with the United Independence Congress, but I'm not speaking from that point of view right now.
Okay.
And in case you don't know, the United Independence Congress is Jamaica's third registered political party.
That's the UIC. Yeah, man. I've done a few videos on it.
Right. I'm the spokesperson for Justice, National Security and Defense. And I've written several pieces and published several pieces on our media platform about it. But as I said, I'm not speaking from that point of view right now. Jamaica doesn't have a more partisan outlook.
Definitely.
I was disappointed last night when I went on X and saw the Fontana logo emblazoned on an ad saying that they support the JCF.
My God.
In a very general way, not in a specific way, in a very general way. Now, let's skip to the other side. I hosted a justice forum several weeks ago, and I invited the JFJ to be on to ask me in particular questions about policing from our perspective. They didn't get back to me, but this was before this all became a national comedy tragedy. And one of the concerns...
Hold on. You have a device in the background playing?
No.
Oh, you kind of sound echoish, but go ahead.
Alright, so that's one of the things I wanted to discuss with them as to what is the outlook for policing, especially when it comes to police killing. And this was after I did a radio show about body-worn cameras. Now, here's the thing that I noticed. These captains of industries in Jamaica, these businessmen, these oligarchs, these money men, money brokers, whatever we want to call them, they support what the police is doing. And it reminds me so much of what used to happen in Brazil in the early 2000s, where businessmen were alleged to be paying bounties to rogue police element to kill unemployed youths and youths that were suspected of criminality.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this was a big international scandal, if everybody can recall that. I don't want Jamaica to get to that level. And we, through our platform, have been urging the commissioner, the national security minister, and the prime minister to take a different approach.
Mm-hmm.
We have said to them that when a suspect is killed, you don't gather intelligence from that suspect. And the age-old practice is to kill a suspect and close the case around him. But you don't know where the gun come from, where the bullets came from, who are the enabler, who was the hirer, or the employer, and so on.
True.
There's a lot that gets missed. But most importantly, the state can't be seen as an element of danger or death. And when the national security minister, probably 3 years ago, if my memory serves me correct, went
to shoot to kill.
Westmoreland and said to shoot to kill and offered police legal defense, I was very worried because I knew where this was going. But shortly after, Delroy went to Parliament after the ruling on the Indicom powers of arrest and prosecution. And everybody, all police were saying Delroy was going to reaffirm that Indicom has the power to arrest and prosecute. And I thought it was suspicious that he waited until then because they love to preempt what they're going to do. I thought it was suspicious that he waited. And on the parliamentary floor, he refused to grant Indicom by amending the law to give them the powers of arrest as well as the powers of prosecution. And he says that this is in keeping with the court ruling coming out of the UK Privy Council. But the ruling wasn't that. The ruling just simply stated that the law didn't give them the power. It didn't say that we can't give them the power. So the law it was written, the Indicom Act as it was written, didn't give Indicom the power. And that's what new that Indicom. So those two things have led us to here. And this was all on the heels of at least 3 death squad scandals in the Jamaica Constabulary Force. I'm sure you can recall that. Now, here's where I'm at. I stand for law and order.
Definitely.
For everyone, including the law enforcers. You can't want to ticket me for driving a vehicle with a broken tail light when your vehicle that you're driving is in disrepair. You can't want me to show you respect, but you don't want to show me respect.
True.
You can't want to enforce the law on me, but not on yourself. And I'm very disappointed, and I've said it publicly and continue to say that I'm disappointed in the commissioner, the now commissioner, and his predecessors. As a matter of fact, I've criticized Owen Ellington for being one of the most emotionally insensitive commissioners there was. And this was because of the Justice Batch ruling, where he declared that stop and searches are illegal. And instead of adopting the strategy, instead of the JCF changing the strategy, they said, no, we're going to defy the court ruling and continue to do that.
Yeah.
Well, here's what happened, or here's what didn't happen. The Supreme Court didn't censure him for being, as they would say, in contempt of court. To this day, it still continues because Justice Batts had said in his ruling that I'm sending a copy of this ruling to the commissioner's office. And even if he didn't, he would have had to go to the Attorney General's chamber. But in Jamaica, there is no law for the rich, only for the poor.
My God, 2 Jamaicas.
The Jamaica Constabulary Force, with over 200 years of policing history in Jamaica, they've claimed 137. But it's over 200 years of policing history in Jamaica. And Jamaica is only 60 years old. So for the early part of that policing history, what were they doing? Simple. They were protecting the rich money broker oligarchs in Kingston, where the force started, and spread through Jamaica, where they were in the fields and the production centers, cracking skulls and breaking bones for the plantation masters. And that has not changed. It continues to be that today. You'll see them downtown kicking over the carts of old women trying to eke out their existence in an economy that is terrible. Okay, where the prosperity that is being promised is only at the top the top 1% who controls the means of production. So
no trickle down.
It's a trickle-down economy. And that's what the UIC have always pointed out to people. But people, the education system has deliberately been broken. Well, it was created whole anyway, because it was a gift from the plantocracy. So it was meant to educate us to the level where we can see these things. Okay? And instead of saying, you know what, we want better and demanding better like the JFJ is doing now, we have said, oh, we support it. Well, guess what? I can't support it, but I can support law and order. And it doesn't mean I'm anti-police.
True.
I'm anti this system that allows them to do that. Last night I had to remind someone, an ex, that a prominent accountant in Jamaica was shot in the back in his house through the door. Right? It is said that they were in pursuit of wanted men and gunmen. And they shot up the man's house. The man's house looked like strainer. Just from the outside. His wife in court at the trial lament and cried. Well, his daughter, sorry. How he was shot in the back after he hid them in a closet to protect them. They didn't know if this guy and his family was being held hostage. So they shot up the house and he got shot in the back. And guess what? The then security minister, Bunting, because I'm not speaking about one party only, gave them immunity from prosecution. You hear that? Immunity from prosecution. And this security minister tried to affirm it. As in say, yes, here's your immunity certificate, you can't prosecute them. The lives of our citizens aren't worth anything.
My God.
You understand? It's just like the Carl Garden incident, it's just like the Pinnacle incident, and all the other incidents. I see a video online posted by a sister where they allegedly came for her brother, who is a supposedly wanted man, allegedly wanted. And the yard is filled with heavily armed police officers. Their guns are all at the neutral.
Yeah, I saw the video.
And she begged them to not kill him and I tell him to come out and surrender. And you hear when the gunshot goes off and she screams. And guess what? The policeman directly in front of her, standing with his back to the house where the gunshot went off with that move. He did not make his weapon ready and get ready to defend himself or his colleague. Why? Is that suspicious?
Definitely.
That he didn't respond in a defensive manner?
Because that simply means that they weren't being attacked as how the commission is making it seem like all of them are being attacked and heavily shot at and whatever he said in that video. But I'm going to give you 2 more minutes to wrap up because I'm trying to move on from this point. But go ahead.
Thank you. Now for the present commissioner, another brilliant man, but they're all house slaves. Because he doesn't see the criticism of the JFJ and others, including myself, as being productive. He has outrightly, along with the security minister, refused to add body-worn cameras. Why do they have to hide? But at the same time, they want to tell you to turn over your private camera feed to them to detect crime. So why wouldn't they want to detect malpractice in the police force using the same method, if it is such an effective method?
True.
What is it that they have to hide? The point is this. We have all seen what brilliant men can do, and these brilliant men do evil things for their own measure of success. And the JCF right now measures success by the amount of bodies of alleged suspects that they can bring in, and not the amount of convictions. I've asked the question several times, what is your closure rate? How many cases have you closed successfully outside of those that the suspect ended up being killed during apprehension?
Good question.
I'll go further and say that the constabulary force continues to be inept at apprehension. I posted a video the other day of an elderly man that is being apprehended and beaten with a steel baton. I've seen men struck with that baton and they're hitting in areas where it becomes debilitating injury. I see a police broke a man's leg clean by striking him at the ankle with that baton. It was a clean open fracture. The leg was hanging by a piece of skin. You follow?
Yeah.
And these are the implements they're giving them to go and police their fellow citizens. If it was a taser, it wouldn't be so bad. If it was pepper spray, it wouldn't be so bad. But a hardened steel baton. The point I'm making is this. Even with that, they could not put the handcuff on the gentleman and resorted to beating him, even though he was not resisting. That can't be tenable. That can't be the way you police in the 21st century.
Not at all.
And most people usually ask, what me do? Tell me now. And if you stop and say you're under arrest because you're suspected of doing this, please put your hand behind your back. Some will resist, yes, but some will comply.
Mm-hmm.
But the most important thing is that we don't know our rights. So, and police often violate our rights for two reasons. One, ignorance, and three, because they believe they can get away with it. I've had police tell me that they can do this and that to me because they can get away with it. I've had police point guns at me, right? And I've never been anything since the age of 18, a gainfully employed, hard-working young man, and I'm now 48. I've never had more than a speeding ticket. So what would cause the police to point the M16 at me on the way from work and the school? You follow?
Yeah.
So this is the kind of roguish behavior I'm against. So let me leave with that and just let us know that we can support policing without supporting the bad elements. And being against the bad elements doesn't mean that we're against policing.
Definitely.
As a matter of fact, I was an aspirant to the force at 18.
Mm-hmm.
I was an aspirant to the force again at about 25. You follow? And by the way, it's not that I feel why I didn't go. I chose not to.
Okay.
Because I didn't see the force as being of the morale that would agree with me. My value system was totally different from what I saw.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for listening.
All right. Thank you, my brother. Thank you for calling. Blessings. So that's one of the candidates there from the third party, that's the UIC. And so he gave his take right there. Blessed morning, Miss Winnie. How you doing?
Good morning.
You're live. You're live. I'm all right. How you doing?
The Ice Princess.
She's good. She's in school.
Anyway, listen, all I can say to the Jamaicans, yes, you've got good police.
Mm-hmm.
We need the police, but we don't need these police that we're but that, you cannot recognize them. Nothing they put over their face.
Their face, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, no police should wear that. No police on this earth unless they're going for some terrorists or something like that.
Yeah.
They are the one that are doing the killing.
Mm-hmm.
They're the one that, was trained to kill and don't ask no question.
Mm-hmm.
And anyone that from any boys or young men that get killed and they will shoot, you can prove they were shooting at the police and the police shoot them. Yes, I can understand that.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't tell me everyone you kill they have a drop gun. That's stupid.
True.
Wear the camera. Why you let the Chinese man tell you not to wear no camera? Wear the camera. That to protect you and to protect this citizen.
Mm-hmm.
I think though everyone should, that is real Jamaican, is for the law and for the citizen should boycott that pharmacy. There's no way it should go into that pharmacy. No one should go into that pharmacy unless you agree with the police doing what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And that Chinese man should never do that. And that what he call himself, Idi Amin. Idi Amin he only can talk now because he should be kissing Andre foot for talking that they don't give him nothing and give him a little pick.
Mm-hmm.
He look like them big beard that, I can't stand the man. What he look like?
Winnie. My God.
He look like, I wonder if it's Idi Amin's son.
Mm-mm.
Oh, he got mouth now because he get paid to talk stupidness.
Mm-mm.
What about you wear blue? Wear blue my backside?
Mm-mm.
The blue should be when you marry or when somebody dead, you put on blue. Huh? No, man. Everyone should go out and support because too many young men are getting dashed away.
Mm-hmm.
And I think 10% may be bad. The 90% don't have nothing, don't do. Look at all the innocent ones. And the trouble is the mothers that lose their son, knowing their son was innocent, they all should be at the meeting. The family, everybody should go.
True.
But be careful. And you got tons, millions of body bag. And you want something bad to happen for E not to call no election. So anyone going on that march, please be very careful. Don't have nothing on you to say they can find anything. Don't bring no nail polish, no nail cleaner. We call it the one to rub down your nail. No file, nothing. Only your bus pass or your money for your bus. Don't bring nothing that they can say to start a riot. And you want that.
Peaceful protest.
And you really need it. Peaceful. Put your hand up in the air and sing and continue. Do what the leaders say. The lady that is in charge. Please. I would not like to hear no one get dash away. And you want riot, not to call no election. Please, people of Jamaica, be humble. Be humble like a brand new baby. Be humble and walk. Wear your black. Everyone should be wearing black in Jamaica today. Every citizen should be wearing black. That is for, yes, we are for the police, but the police shouldn't be doing what they're doing. I was in the Spanish town, and the police hold on to a young man. And the man take the, honest to God, on my grandmother's grave, take the rifle and give the man one lick in his face. I said, why you have to lick him? He's going with you.
My gosh.
And he looked at me. I said, you can look at me as you want. You can't touch me, oh. Because I've got the British behind me. It take the butt, at the butt of the rifle and hit the man in his face.
My
I
goodness.
feel it to my, honest to God, and my grandmother's grave I love more than I love my life. I see that in Spanish Town. Market, at the market there. Because my uncle did own the shop in front called Johnny Wright. Right? He died and took gone now. Itself. But I was there. I said, Jesus Christ. And my cousin said, you're not scared? I said, for what? You got to be able to talk when you see something wrong.
True.
I said, if they arrest me, I make one call to the British Embassy. I hear you, yeah. All I
right,
do, please go quietly and do what you got to do, but do not give the police no chance to say they're going to fire. Because they trigger happy. You're going to see a lot of them. You can't recognize their face. They're the killers. Okay.
All right, Miss Winnie. Bless up yourself. Yeah. Thanks for calling.
Thank you, my God. Thank you.
So, with that being said, I've seen somebody else calling. When I'm finished with these other points, you can call back or I'll call you back. But I'm moving on from that aspect right now. And so we learned yesterday that Trinidad and Tobago and Canada had their general election. And Trinidad now has a woman prime minister. So the UNC party won. I would have said landslide. So Kamala Persad has won the general election for Trinidad and Tobago. And they received 27 seats compared to 12 for PNM and 2 for another party right there. So woman prime minister now heads Trinidad and Tobago. And for Canada, this gentleman right here, who goes by the name of Mark Carney, has won the general election in Canada. And so we're seeing throughout or across the world, elections are being run, and we're having some new leaders. And so we are waiting for our very own in Jamaica. This Prime Minister has up to the 15th of September to call it. We're not sure what he's waiting on. Their house is not in order. And so with this victory across other countries, we await our Prime Minister, Mark Jefferson Golding. We are waiting for this Prime Minister to call it so that the people can go out and exercise their constitutional right. The people are ready to go to the polls, and the time has come. We're seeing Mark Golding sending congratulations to these two newly elected Prime Minister of Canada and Trinidad and Tobago. And so, what is this government waiting on? On the comment, type in the comment section, ready if you are ready for this general election. We know me ready. Everybody else supposed to ready. So I want to say ready in the comment section. We are ready for governance of Mark Jefferson Golding. We are ready for him to implement the plans that he has laid out for the Jamaican people. We are ready for impeachment to be a part of our legislation. We are ready for accountability. We are ready for a leader who has integrity. We are ready for a leader who has nothing to hide. We are ready for a leader whose slate is clean. We are ready for a leader who has experience in all aspects of governance, who has laid out a whole heap of laws while he was justice minister at one point under the Portia Simpson Miller administration. We are ready for a prime minister who is transparent. We are ready for a prime minister with solutions, not gimmicks. We are ready for the leadership of a Mark Jefferson Golding. He has laid it out in his plans. He has worked behind the scenes and done a whole heap for Jamaica. His family history is rich. He's a family man. He has all the right characteristics of becoming the next Prime Minister of Jamaica. What more do we need to see this government do in order to give Mark Golding our 100% support and more? What more do we want to see this government do? They have not built a school in his entire tenure, 2 terms, and has not built a school, but coming to take credit for our housing department when they have strayed away from the mandate of the National Housing Trust in building affordable housing for our lower class of people. They have strayed away from that, building houses that's valued over $20 million and going over $30 million. They only cater for the elites. They only care about those who already have it. They only care about a handful of people who are already well off in Jamaica. We're seeing a Mark Golding going amongst the people. We're seeing the genuineness. We're seeing the love that he has for the people. And he does not believe in only a small handful alone having it and being able to afford the finer things in life, but he believes that all, even the grassroots, even the ones that are from the lower socioeconomic background, he believes that everybody deserves the opportunity and everybody deserves a chance. And the plans that are laid out by him, we need nothing more. So what says you, ABR family? We are well over the hour, but I'm gonna continue taking some calls. Let me know what you think about everything that was outlined in this video. To the person that was calling me, I'm about to call you back now. I want to hear what you have to say So I'm gonna give you back a call.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
blessed morning. You were calling the program. You're
Top of the
live?
morning. Yes, sister. Blessed top of the morning to you
Same to you.
and
What says
the
you?
ABR family.
Mm-hmm.
ABR, I heard the other two persons before me spoke,
Yeah.
and they actually display the same sentiment I does myself regarding Jamaica and the leading governments of the Labour Party.
Mm-hmm.
As common history is there to tell, starting from the Bustamante, Labour Party minister, they all chose to eliminate certain groups all along coming down. The Bustamante tried to get rid of the Rastafarian.
Mm-hmm.
Edward Siaga tried to get rid of the elder we will never forget, Eden Time.
Yes.
And in all those cases, as I laid out, they're not only doing that, they even try to let our people be illiterate by not able to learn in the direction that they are taking us to and knowing their rights and everything. Now we see Bruce try to get rid of some of his people in the instance of we remember in the Tivoli incursion and all take place there. Now we see, and they are all on a campaign of doing that. Look at this Prime Minister now. He's on the campaign of eliminating the young men in Jamaica. And trust me, and in all this, think about it, he get rid of the educational system, unlike his other members also ahead before him, by just not letting the youths learn the statistic of what is taking place all along. Now, and I want you to help me out here, ABR. What the number of police unaliving since the starting of the year?
106.
Is really
106 based on
106, and now we are just 4 months, 1/3 of the year, right?
Yeah.
And 106.
So think about it. If it continues in this way,
by the end of the year, it continue this way, we'll be like 318, I assume, right? 318 young men. Now, this is an indictment on these young men to start look in themselves and ask themselves, because first they let them illiterate so they can't do the math.
Yes.
Now, ask themselves if we should give this Prime Minister another 4 years. Multiply that. Continue this way. Because giving him another 4 years is
no,
giving
and it's not. Hold on, it's not even 4, and it's 5. It would be 5. But go ahead.
Right, 5 years. Another 5 years, we are giving him unchecked. So he's gonna be unchecked and set loose to do more damages than he's doing right now. Now, do that math and ask yourself, and don't doubt it by asking it. Am I gonna be among those statistics? My cousin is gonna be among those statistics.
My God.
My brother is gonna be among those statistics. My uncle is gonna be among those statistics. You can't doubt yourself that you won't. You can't doubt yourself that you won't at this time. So you got to make certain
Young men, you gotta make certain. Listen, I'm not for any 1 minute endorsing criminality.
Not at all.
And I'm hoping that these young men, whatever they are doing, they stop. I'm begging them. But I always believe in due process. Due process. That's what this government is not displaying. And everything this prime minister or this JLP government is doing, they have an agenda. Don't think for a minute they don't have an agenda. If you take 5 years from now and you lose over 1,500 going up to 1,800 young men, what are their replacements? That's what we need to take into consideration. What are their replacements, man? You see workshops setting up in Jamaica now with Chinese working without papers. Think, are they our replacement? Those are the things you gotta take. Don't, as I said, don't think for 1 minute that they are doing this without an agenda. There is an agenda at all times, thinking from the little things like cutting out school meals, robbing the people's chest, because that's robbing education.
Definitely.
No, these people are not getting due process. The biggest criminal in the country right now is the prime minister.
Mighty God.
Because he is destructing the justice system by attacking the same integrity commissioner that he tried to put in place. That is one of the biggest criminality in the country right now, because you are disrupting justice by not having the integrity commissioner doing his work. So why you think you need due process and these young men does not need due process?
Well said.
The person that had the criminal activity for the SSL never been questioned.
Run off into the sunset.
And he don't need due process. You know, so why is these young youth, look around it. I don't think for a minute that Andrew Warnes, his son, will ever be stopped by a police. And nobody from his community will never be stopped by a police. Never. But you can look at the backgrounds of the people that are at a threat by the police. And this does not fall on just on the police. You have bad police, but first you have to think of the leader. They are the one who give the reign to them to do as they like.
Definitely so, yeah.
Carry out their dirty work. So young youth, it is up on you now to go out and display. Go out and move this leader, or else the next 5 years, there will be no checks. There will be no checks. They will do as they want, as they please. Take a page out of the book of what goes on in America now. Look what Trump, he got unchecked. He's clean slate to do as he wants. The Supreme Court gave him that. Don't think for a minute they vote back Andrew Warnes. He don't care what no one say, because they all give him clean slate to do what he wants to do. The reins of the law belongs to him. So go out and vote.
Definitely.
Register and vote this man out. Or else you will be the next person in this statistic. That's all I have to say.
Bless up my family. Thanks for calling.
Yeah.
Go out and vote. That is the takeaway message right here. Nobody except the elites will be excluded from what is taking place in our country right now. Anybody can be a part of this statistic. And so Una have to go out in thousands, go out in droves. Tag along on your friends, on your families, all those who are over the age of 18 and over and registered to vote. Go out and vote. The people has the power. We have the power to elect and we have the power to fire. So we want this Prime Minister here out because, as the caller stated, he have too much clothes hanging over his head. We want someone with a clean slate who has nothing to hide from the Jamaican populace. We need a leader and we need a Mark Jefferson Golding to lead us into this great change that we so desire. ABR family, remember that the orange, all fruits ripe, and we are going to juice it right now. In the meantime, we are reverse the curse, we are reverse the whole divide and rule that they want to promote and to push in our country with this senator, this newly minted senator, sending out a message to their supporters to go out and to stand against JFJ, who is standing for human rights at all costs. Be it a police, be it not, be it a common man, be it a nurse, be it a politician, whosoever it may be. We say human rights, not for some, but for all. The tides have changed in Canada. The tides have changed in Trinidad and Tobago. We are ready for Mark Jefferson Golding. Mark Golding, it is your time to lead Jamaica to the change that we need. Big up yourself, Joanne Bailey, Keith Matthews, Danette Harriet, Paul B. Big up on yourself, Georgia Lynch. Big up on yourself, everybody. We come on the live. Remember for like and share out the live. Big up yourself, Star Girl. Big up Unique Rape. Big up on yourself, Serene Sue. Big up to the members, Angela and Ivan Wallace. Daniel Taylor. Reverse the curse. Reverse the order. Somebody reverse the curse. Reverse the order. Over Jamaica. Reverse the curse, mighty God. Reverse the order. If a king's house. Big up to the JFJ. Big up to the law-abiding police, men and women. We are not against the police. We are not against JFJ. We stand against the increased levels of police killing of our young men. Not all of them are criminals. Not all of them are fighting against the police. Not all of them are in the wrong. Vian Miller, welcome in the building. Big up yourself. Remember to leave a like and gonna jump out of the live, ABR family and viewers. Cooking with Elaine, big up yourself. Reverse the curse, reverse the order, reverse the curse, reverse the order. Somebody say, reverse the curse, reverse the order. Somebody reverse the curse. Paul Bogle, big up yourself. Reverse the order, over Jamaica. Reverse the curse, mighty God. Reverse the order. You be comrade. 1 PNP. Remember, ABR family and viewers, to support the Major Daps album, which says Jamaica is the heart of the world. Big up Bowl of VNR 2.0. Remember to support all other social media warriors that's out there, bringing the info to you, giving you the raw truth. Remember, we're not battling for your minds, we are battling for the truth. Send them back, reverse the curse, go out in thousands and go and vote early when they call this election. Them have to call it come hell and high water. They have to call it 2025. They will not provoke us to cause a riot. They will not provoke us to cause war and strife amongst each other. The time has come and the time is now. Big up yourself, Delorica Ward. Big up Owen Bernard. Big up again, Barbara. Stay safe, ABR family. Stay tuned for more videos. Stay tuned for more updates. Big up to all those who support in the platform. Big up to all those who donate to the platform. Stay safe. Have a wonderful day. Big up on yourself. Remember, the word is and will always be love. Big up again, Daniel.